these PCs as sorry, these routers. Basically, these are the router. I have changed the symbols of them, and I'm going to make these routers as a PC. So which command we have to use? Let's start from the router 4. So you have to, where you have to go, you have to go in global configuration mode, and then you have to type no IP routing. Okay, so then it elects itself as a PC. Okay, go in configuration mode and then type no IP routing. Okay, do it on the router number 6 as well. Go in global configuration mode and type no IP routing and click on the last router. Okay, so the all the things is done. So let's change the host name of the devices as well. So how we can change that? Simple type host name, and then this is what, this is our PC1. Okay, so the host name has been changed of that as well. So host name, that is our PC2, and on the router number 6 change the host name, that is our PC number 3, and then this is our PC number 4, host name PC number 4. Okay, so now the host name has been changed, and let me check this, we can change it or not. PC1, no, we cannot change. Okay, so this I have make these routers as a PC. Okay, so let's do the quickly configuration of IP address on these routers first. Okay, so let's configure the IP address on the router number 1 first on the interfaces of 0/0. So go on that interface was Ethernet 0/0 IP address and dot 1.1.1, and which network we are using, /8 network. Okay, so I've configured the 10.1.1 on this interface. Let's configure the 10.10.10.1 on this interface. Which interface is it? Interface Ethernet 4/0. Okay, so IP address. So which IP address? 10.10.10.10.1. 255.0.0.0. Do not shut down. What is that? Okay. I got it. See, actually, we have to configure this IP address on this, right? So I just make it swipe. So let's do that. That is 172 IP address. That is 172.16.10.1. Okay. In /16 network, and do no shutdown. Let me show you the IP which is I have configured. So I have configured on the 10.1.1.1 on this interface, that is fast Ethernet 0/0. On Ethernet 4/0, we have I have configured the 172.16.10.1. Guys, just turn it off your mic. Everything's will you can ask after this. Okay, we will discuss everything. We will discuss. So don't worry. So I click on configuration on global configuration mode on the router number 2, and let's configure the IP addresses which is mentioned in this diagram. Okay, so which interface we are going to configure first? 0/0 on this interface. Okay, so IP address which is 10.1.1.0. Give me 1 minute. हाँ हाँ देखते हैं. Give me 1 minute, guys. I will be get back to it. Where should we have to stop? Sorry for inconvenience. Okay, so let's do the configuration of the IP address on the router number 2. That is this. And do no shutdown. Okay, so let's configure this IP address on this interface. So which interface is it? Interface pass Ethernet 1/0. An IP address which is 168.10.1. Okay, then do no shutdown. See, the configuration of the IP which is I have done, that is these. Okay, so let's configure the last router of the IP. Go in configuration mode, interface pass Ethernet 0/1, sorry 1/0, and configure the IP address, that is 192.168.10.2. Okay, and let's configure on this interface. So interface Ethernet 4/0. Okay, and then IP address. So which IP address? That is 10.10.1 to 5.0.0.0. Okay, let me show you IP interface brief. So here is the IP which is I have configured. Let's configure first of all the DHCP, because of we are going to configure the DHCP on this router. Okay. Then after that we will look that our static routing is working or not, because of in in our Cisco packet tracer the static routing was not working while like after configuration of the DHCP. So what we are going to do, we are going to do the same thing over here as well. Okay. So let's configure the DHCP. So IP DHCP pool, that is CCNA, right? And the network which is you have to use, which is this network, right? So 172.16.10.0, and which that is the our subnet mask for this. Okay, and then you have to use the default router. Okay, so which is the default router? 172.16.10.1, which is this interface IP address is our default router. You can give the DNS server as well. So DNS server IP address would be 172.16.10.2. You can give it. Okay, that's all. Now come over the router number 3 and let's configure the same thing on that as well. So IP DHCP pool, and what is the pool name? CCNP. Okay, so that's the pool name, and which network we are going to use. Uh, we are going to use the 10.0.0.0 network space the subnet mask of that, and then this. Okay, and what is our default router, which is 10.10.10.1. Okay, you can give the DNS server as well, so 10.10.10.2 you can give it. Okay, so DHCP configuration is done on the DHCP server. So we are going to provide on this interface automatically IP address on this PCs. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to take the access first of all on the PC4, sorry PC1. Okay, and go on the interface Ethernet 4/0. Because of is this is the interface which is gonna be provide the automatic IP address, because of only this interface is connected with the switch, right? So uh, how to provide that automatic IP address? Simple IP address DHCP. Okay, and it will ask the multiple things like the host name and all the things, but you don't have to do anything. That's all. Okay, and then do no shutdown. Then let's see IP interface brief. Method which is on this interface is DHCP. Okay, and IP address is not assigned, so we have to do the pool as well. Let it just wait a minute. Here is the IP which is it provided. Previously it was not. It takes a few minutes, a few seconds only, and then it will provide. Let me show you IP interface brief. Now here is the IP. Okay, what is the method? That is DHCP. Okay, and what IP which is we got 172.16.0.1. Okay, so nothing you have to do. You have to go on this interfaces on the router number 5. Which interface I'm using? Interface Ethernet 4/0, and then IP address DHCP. That's all. And do no shutdown the ports. Okay. Same thing we have to do on this router as well. So interface Ethernet 4/0 IP IP address DHCP, and then do no shutdown. 9. Okay. So do the same thing. Interface Ethernet 4/0 and IP address DHCP. Ah, okay, and do no shutdown. Then automatically it will assign the IP. See, it assigned this IP addresses. Okay. Now, guys, you can ask the questions. What you have doubt, guys? Do you have any doubt? No doubt. Yes, yes. Tell me. Don't have any doubt. So, see, we have provided the all the IP addresses with using the DHCP, and what we are going to do now, um, that is have a. एक minute. I will be back, guys. Just hold on a second. Okay, so let's configure the static routing on this between these three routers. Okay, so how we can do simple IP route, right? And right now we are router number one, and we have to make the communication on the 192 network. What network we have to be? Before this, let me show you the routing table. Show IP route on working very slow. So we have only these two network, which is we have that is C. C means connected. Let me show you C for that. C means connected. Okay, so we want this network in our routing table. Okay, so how we can assign? Simple IP route the network which is 192.168.10.0, and the subnet mask dot zero, and then the interface. So which interface I'm using? That this interface fast ethernet 0/0. Okay, so you can give the fast ethernet 0/0. Same thing we have to do on the router number 3. IP route in which network? N10 network. Give the subnet mask and which interface I'm using, that is fast ethernet 1/0. Okay, it takes the time. I think. Okay, that was the problem. See, what was the problem? What is happening over here? If I have already enabled the some protocol that is related to the automatic IP address assignment. Okay, so what is happening over here? This is going to provide the automatic IP address, and then this is also going to share the some thing which is, let me show you as well, regarding the DHCP. Okay, like discover, offer, request, acknowledgement, and uh, whatever that packets which is we have regarding the DHCP. Let me show you. So let me just shut down this port and let me shut that down again. Okay, then you will see over here. Yes, on this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this port shut down. Which port? That is interface fast ethernet 4/0, which is right now on this. Okay, that is shut down. So it will show that the DHCP release time. Okay, so release packet is, that means what? The release packet is going to give you the all the kind of information regarding um, the time slabs. Okay, second labs. So what is that? The all the kind of things regarding the timing and all the things, you will get it over here. Okay, now after this, if I will turn it on and then it will assign the automatic IP address, then it will send the discover, offer, request, and acknowledgement. If you can see over here, first of all it says send the discover message, then it says the send the offer, then request, then acknowledgement, and then it provides the automatic IP address. Okay, so this is how you can also capture the things, and then you can provide this the same thing on that. Okay, so that is the thing, guys, which is we have. And one more thing, if you are using the DHCP, so first of all you have to make the communication with using static routing, and then you can communicate. Okay, so the DHCP is going to break the particular things which is gonna be provided by the this all the kind of things regarding the static routing. Okay, because of this is our DHCP server, both the things is our DHCP server. If we do not have any DHCP server, then we can easily communicate. Okay, we start getting this. Okay, now let me check it on this router as well. I think that gonna be work, but sometimes it depends upon the iOS model, iOS routers, the router operating systems. So you have to make it familiar. That's on the one side it's not working. So what we have to do, I think we have to turn it off this interface, and then I think then it will send it. So let me turn it off. Interface Ethernet shut down, and then let me do the again static routing. So IP route, in which network we want to communicate, in this network, right? And submit mask, and then interface fast ethernet, which interface we are using, 1/0. Clear IP route star. Let me clear the process. Show IP route. It takes the time, but if that gonna be work, so that is also gonna be work. So if you can see over here, this is we get it. Now let me turn on that interface which is I have turned off. So Ethernet /0. Do no shutdown because of that was our DHCP. Now let me show you the our routing table. Show IP route. Takes the time. Yeah, that is happening, guys. See on this router, this is gonna be happening. Like before this, I was getting that. Okay, but when I just turn on this interface, then it just gone. What is that? What is that? It just gone. So, but let me try to ping on the router number one. Uh, which network? 192.168.2. Previously it was working, right? But let me do one thing. Let me just turn off this interface, and might be that then it's gonna be work. That was Ethernet 4/0, and then shut down. Okay, we are now getting the yes. That means static routing. So let's do the ping. And before doing ping, let me check the routing table of this as well. So let's do ping. I think now we are able to communicate. Okay, so sometimes it is gonna be happen with the every kind of routers and all the things, but you will be able to communicate once the interfaces is not gonna. Why this is gonna be happen? Let me show you. Because of, see, there is a reason behind it where we want to communicate on the router number three. That is our this network. Okay, but the DHCP server is already configured on this router, which is in the same network, right? That is in the 10 network. So that is why this is getting confused that which network I have to put into the my um, inside inside of my routing table. Okay, because of this is getting confused that okay, means I'm getting that this is the directly connected and this is the static one. So there is a rule, right? Let me show you the few things. AD value, administrative distance value. So we have multiple AD values which is gonna be happen. And let me show you this AD value. See, connected interface. See, connected interface always at zero. And static route on out and interface means there is no any kind of out and interface, but the static routing to the next hop, which is we have done. So this is saying that we have the default AD value for this. That is here. That is one, and there is a rule to get information about that, which is always it follow the lower AD value to send the data traffic. Okay, what is that? The router always follow the lower AD value to send their traffic out. Okay, so this is the router. Inside this case, the router is finding the directly connected as a this network, which is in the same network, that is /8, and this is the next hop address, which is we are getting it from the router number 2. Okay, so that is why this router number 3 makes this route as a best. And when I turned it off this interface, then it route goes right, means this interface gone. So there is nothing any other way, or there is nothing any kind of network which is related to the /8 value. So there is only one network which is the /8 value, which is this. So then we are able to communicate. Okay, that is this. Okay, so this is exactly happening. I know that it's a bit of tough to understand this concept, but you can try that. Okay, and do one more thing. Just write down this AD value and the connected interfaces over here. Guys, am I audible? Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, 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 fine. the networking everywhere? Okay, so this is the thing, and I'm going to stop sharing the video, and I'm going to upload it on YouTube as well if you have for that.